Hello and welcome to another episode of Stacked. Today I want to find out if the Hughes and Kettner warp factor, which is a really mediocre pedal for guitars, will work on bass. Because there's huge amounts of bass, and that's good because the name bass suggests that you should have bass. Single chain. Bass. Into the warp factor. Into my Douglas Microtubes B7K, it's the version 1, it works as a preamp and I will turn it on later, and this goes directly into the interface. No cap IR whatsoever. First of all, here's the clean bass signal with a pick. Sorry bassists out there. Now we'll activate the warp factor and find out how it sounds. Clipping? No clipping. So it makes some noise, but it works. That's an actual really cool sound, although I prefer the warp control fully counterclockwise because it has more grit to it, I think. It's definitely not lacking bass, that's for sure. So cool! The warp factor is a secret bass distortion pedal and not a guitar distortion pedal. Keep that in mind. So I could stop the video here, but you know I like experimenting, and therefore let me quickly dial in sound with the Microtubes B7K with not as much gain, nice clanky bass sound, and then we'll add the warp factor and see what happens. So. Not clipping. Okay, quickly dialed in bass tone. Now let's find out what the warp factor does and maybe play around with it. By the way, I've activated the subcontroller because it has more bass. So, this was totally noisy, and that's definitely not appropriate for a technical death metal band. However, if you're playing slower metal, slower death metal, doom death, stoner rock, this might work wonderfully well. It gives us this fuzz note, this really sludgy note. It's definitely a huge wall of noise. Kinda in a good way. Especially when I crank the high mids, it gets even nastier. And now here, alone with just the bass and me playing, so no drums, no guitars, this was quite the unique sound and was a really, well, cool sound. I had fun playing with this. So, I don't know if it works well in a mix, but here and in a live setting, I can see myself actually using this warp T. If only output and input were switched, because it's a mess. Here is the output jack and here is the input jack. Who came up with this idea? And I know it's because of the reminiscence of the old fuzz faces, and I don't care. I don't live in the 90s, 60s, or 70s, or 50s. I live in the future, and I want to have a future pedal. Not this kind of stuff. Okay. Now, what do you think? Do you think this was a good sound? Good sound? Do you maybe use the warp factor with your bass? If so, what are your settings? What is your signal chain? Leave a comment down below in the comment section. I'm very curious to find out. And, well, if you want to support this channel, check out the links in the description. And with this said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my Instagram. May the force be with you and have a nice day.